For this video, we will be covering interactive landscape. What makes this different from the other exercises is that we are going to be focusing on user input. So on what the sprite does when you click on him or interact with him, we're going to program him to do different things. We're actually going to be programming 3 sprites. So I've already have my background selected. Go ahead and pick yours and pick 3 sprites. I'm going to pick this dove. At least 1 or 2 of the sprites should have animations, which means when you hover over them, they're moving. So this dinosaur is a good one because if you see here, he has a ton of costumes that make for it's going to make for a smooth animation. We'll do him last. And then this dragon has an animation. So for our first sprite, the dove, I only want him to make noises when I click on him. So let's go ahead to events here. When the sprite is clicked, go under sound, play bird sound until done. Now let's see. Okay, that was really loud, but we got it to work. Easy. The dragon now, a little bit more complicated. I want him to do a flip when I click on him. So the same beginning when this sprite clicked. If you want him to do a flip, you're going to have to go to motion and use turn 15 degrees. Now let's see. This isn't enough. He's not turning all the way. So you want him to repeat his turning enough to do a full 360. 360 means you go around in a circle, 360 degrees. So you go here under control and you have to repeat it. Now 15 times 10 is not 360, so that's not going to work. 20 times 18 is 360. It doesn't have to be these two, it just has to equal 360. And let's see, if we click on him, then he'll do the full flip. So there's that. Now this last one, I will provide you the blocks and see if you could figure it out on your own. We'll use a green flag for the first time in this lesson. We'll have a forever. I'm not going to combine them yet. If then else. If you remember what I said earlier, is this dinosaur has all these costumes to use. So we'll switch costume to, and this should be its first costume that it has. And instead of clicking on the sprite, we want to interact with him just by hovering over him. And one more looks block will be next costume. So what I want is, I just want this dinosaur to do his animation and to move around only by hovering over him. So go ahead and pause the video, see if you can figure out what combination does that. All right, hopefully you had enough time. I'm going to start. So when green flag clicked forever, and you want to nest this if then else inside of forever, this obviously goes in here. It's the same shape. So if touching the mouse pointer, he is going to go to his next costume. And if he's not touching the mouse pointer, he is going to go to his default costume, the first one. So very easy. Let's test it out. Now that is what I wanted, but he's going a little bit too fast. He's going crazy. So how about we go here under, it's going to be wait. This is very useful. 1 second is actually too long. Let's give it half a second, see what that looks like. That is still a little bit too slow. Let's do 0.2. That's a little better. So you can play around with how long you want him to, how long this wait is. This will slow down the animation. But yeah, that's it for now. If now I suggest adding more things. You know, you could add this whole animation. Just drag it over to the dragon and drag it over to the bird, and they'll both have this same thing, except you're gonna have to change some things. Instead of dinosaur, you'll have to make it dove, but it should still work the same. You see? And it's not gonna work on, oh, it does work on a dragon. So you just have to make sure this is right. But yeah, just mess with it some more, see what you could do, and that's it.